Hello. Is it live now?
No, it's counting down.
Mm.
Are you speaking first?
Yeah, I'm going to introduce you. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Meng. I'm the CBO of Mina for CESS.NETWORK. Today, we are very, very delighted to invite our chairperson, our co-founder, Nicholas Zaldestani. He will be able to literally give you his vision on CESS.NETWORK, at the same time, give you some heads up on what to expect from the development side. This is the one of the first series of uh, you know, uh, I would say awareness and education towards CESS.NETWORK. So over to you, Nick.
Hello, everyone. Good to be with you today and all over the world. I couldn't be more excited about what's happening here overall with Web3 and the blockchain and the next generation of technology. But more importantly, we're here to talk about the major advances CESS has had this year. We just came off of a tour 4 months ago in the MENA region, and then now recently in the Asia region, and now we're going live with you here online, and very excited to share with you the details behind CESS. So let me see how I turn the slides on now. There we go. So a lot of you know that my history. For those of you that have been following me, I've been in the data space all my career. I was with a little company called Oracle when it was about 500 people. And the value proposition there was very simple. You built with Oracle. You never had to worry about the hardware. Things evolved over time. And in about 20 years later, we had the evolution of the next generation, the Web 2, the software as a service revolution. And that was driven by companies like Salesforce and many others. And now we're entering this amazing new generation where we're thinking more service as a software. And we're thinking about how AI is driving a need for truly a decentralized programmable data infrastructure, which we provide at CESS. So we're going to be talking to you about that today. CESS is perfect for those people that are developing DPIN, DSI, all sorts of web solutions, Web3 solutions, as well as those that are thinking about how do they evolve from the Web 2 world and add on the Web 3, the decentralized world. And most importantly, we're going to be talking a lot about AI today and the demand for better data sovereignty, privacy, and security when it comes to AI. So kicking it off, I told you a few things about me. I've spent my entire career around ensuring that we have the right information to make the right decisions at the right time. And most importantly, ensuring that we keep our own data sovereignty, privacy, and security. At the end of the day, as we think in the future of AI, we think about digital clones. That is our sacred place, the digital representation of ourselves, AI overall, how data is pulled together to ensure that the data AI models are really exciting is the area that I could not be more excited about myself. And so I started talking about Oracle. Actually, in the mid-90s at Open Horizon, we really tried hard to make TCP/IP the glue that brought everything together. And it was very difficult with the TCP/IP infrastructure, but we continued. I did many other companies, Saba Software, Salary.com. I've been on the board of Duke University's engineering school, very involved with what's happening with Web3 at Duke from a university level. But my whole background is all about being the best. And so from school to engineering to winning awards, and most importantly, launching CESS 6 years ago. And really starting this company with a purpose of making a huge impact in this world and ensuring that we get back our data ownership that we gave up when it came to Web 2. I look forward to sharing the details now. The CESS network is the first layer one addressing the core data infrastructure needs. Specifically, we look at layer one, and there's a real need for data transparency, security, sovereignty, and privacy, as I said. But that's got to be married. I mean, that's really good, but you have to have scalability, adaptability, flexibility, and most important, you have to have performance, efficiency, speed. These are, I'm really shocked sometimes when people get all excited about new technology and they forget about the past. We have to recognize that 98% of all computing today is in historical systems. The SaaS model, the client server model, the mini model. There's so many things that are out there, and the world of Web3 is not just about Web3. It's the whole part of providing this brand new, extraordinarily exciting new technology, and also ensuring that it connects back to the past. And that's where security, scalability, and decentralization all comes together. We are all about providing that performance, that enterprise-grade solution to those in the corporations, as well as the individuals that really demand it for their AI solutions. We invite you always, for those that don't know CESS, go to CESS.NETWORK and take a look at our white paper. It's extraordinarily detailed and really showcases how much we are reshaping the data infrastructure for the next generation internet of this new, as I said, AI-driven era. But here are 6 things that I really want to focus on today. There are 6 things that really help CESS stand apart. We talk a lot about ownership and governance. Well, of course, CESS is a decentralized data infrastructure. And so that decentralized ownership and governance is critical to the success of people that are implementing new solutions and are doing things that have never been done before with technology and with application development. And so that is a key part of what we're doing. Next thing is you cannot be finite in your storage. We have infinite decentralized storage available to you. I was just in China recently and Hong Kong, and we were talking to companies that are actually storing multiple petabytes of data. And this is the norm. But when it comes to cloud storage, that gets rather difficult to implement. Well, good news, at CESS, our decentralized data infrastructure provides infinite storage. Now, that by itself would be good, but now we have to add another piece. The third piece here is the millisecond level data sharing and exchange. This is a critical component. If we cannot match the same benefits that we have in the Web 2 world, how can we exist in the Web 3 world? So we're talking about video streaming, we're talking about audio streaming, we're talking about getting financial transactions at warp speed. This is the world that CESS lives in, and we have built this decentralized data infrastructure, married with a decentralized content delivery network, married to the CESS blockchain. All of these coming together under one network provides that opportunity for all these types of benefits here. Let me continue. Number 4, blockchain-based disaster recovery mechanisms. The most important thing that I've known over the years is don't lose the data. That is not a good idea. And disaster recovery is absolutely paramount, especially when it comes to decentralized systems. And CESS provides that. In fact, half the nodes could go down in your system, your implementation of CESS, and you're not going to lose your data. Our consensus mechanism is extraordinarily unique. And I'm not going to go into the details of that myself. We'll let others on this call do that. But I want to share with you that the consensus mechanism of CESS is what makes CESS so extraordinary. And the details behind it provides the ability for disaster recovery mechanisms really to take place and ensure you're not going to lose your data. Now, key part of this is, cyber threats. We hear about this every day. Every day, in some way, Amazon and Google and others get hacked in some way. And this is a critical component to ensuring that your data does not end up in the wrong hands and that your system does not go down. And so CESS is resilient to cyber threats because of the way we have implemented the decentralization of the system and the way we have leveraged the blockchain. really sets us apart in ensuring that you do not have a problem when it comes to cyber attacks. And it really does a great job of providing a resilient system. And the last thing that really sets apart is that some implementations require that the nodes, all the nodes within the system that are being utilized, stay within a certain boundary, a certain geofence. Be it the United States with the IRS that required all of the nodes to be in the United States, or UAE models, or should say solutions that require to stay all within the UAE. Pick a country, we can absolutely give you the tools. The CESS system gives you the tools to be able to keep all the nodes in one location. So you can look at these 6 things. This is really what sets us apart and really provides you with the decentralized data infrastructure you need to build the most robust decentralized solution. Now, when we look at the world of technology today, be it Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, amazing solutions that we have in the centralized world. Well, we saw that and we knew that CESS could not at all be a contender in this enterprise, very important data management space, data infrastructure space, without a full suite of solutions. So you can see here that for all the pieces that the Amazons and the Microsofts and the Googles have, we have to, be it the CESS Core, the CESS D storage, the CESS DOS, the applications that are building on us, our own DShare, VideoOwn, Telewelly, all these companies. And there are literally so many companies out there that are building on us now today. We released our 14th testnet, and over those testnets, over those 14, we had an average of 8,000 nodes in each one. Do the math. That's a lot of people building with us, and we're excited as we move forward this year and really allow for those technologies to come to the market. And so you can start to see the world we live in, and now you can start to see additional case studies. I touched on a few above, but there are absolutely industries that are starting to really leverage us. We talked about DPIN, we talked about DSci, we talked about gaming, we talked about healthcare. There are so many places, so many industries that are seeing the benefit of decentralized technology to really do things in a way that have never ever been done before. Unique ways to implement technology that sets solutions apart from our existing centralized solutions that are out there. We all know that data is just exploding. Data value is incrementally escalating. And this was something, we go back just to 2010, you can see the beginning of this chart going to, this year as high as 181, but it's going to continue. That chart's just going to continue to grow. And there's a very good reason for it. AI and machine learning is going to continue to drive data and the importance of protecting that data. I mean, it's one thing to lose an element of your data, but it's another thing to lose your learning model or your AI model. And more importantly, all the data that we're bringing together in that model, the more we bring together, the more powerful that model becomes. And so the importance of touching and bringing in more data is really important. IoT, we all know, has been a real driver of data, big data analytics, blockchain technology, virtual and augmented reality. These are all things that are just driving this curve to a whole nother level. And we can only always see that going forward, we're going to have tremendous growth here. And that's really what we're all about. It's all about ensuring that we maintain ownership of our data, and only the people that are allowed to see it can see it. Now, I mentioned earlier, our decentralized programmable infrastructure being a service as a software, being the CESS blockchain, married with the CESS decentralized storage, married with the decentralized content delivery network, married with, which I did not bring up earlier, the CESS AI link. All these 4 pieces coming together in its own network provides for this amazingly robust solution for you all to take advantage of to build your next generation of technology. I'm going to stop for a minute because there have been some data system pioneers out there that really paved the road for some extreme extraordinary advancement in our technology solutions out there. And I'm going to go back, 55 years. 1970, Robert Codd at IBM wrote a white paper, and that white paper was on the relational database management system. That white paper showed how we could store data in a more efficient and effective way. And Larry Ellison and Bob Miner and a few others at Oracle in 1977 read that white paper, and they said, this is phenomenal. And you can imagine, almost 50 years later, Oracle is thriving and providing great solutions for many people out there in the world. And so they took that white paper and they really leveraged that to a place that provided them with this extraordinary advancement and ability for people to build solutions that had never been built before. Now, in 1998, Carlos Strutsky also wrote a white paper. And this white paper was on the non-relational database or the non-SQL database. And this white paper was embraced by the folks over at MongoDB and a few other companies. And they took that white paper and they really leveraged that white paper into their own extraordinary data infrastructure, be it a centralized data structure, a really powerful data structure. And many of us today use MongoDB, and that is a phenomenal company, and that evolved out of that white paper. Well, we all know in 2008 that Satoshi put out a white paper on the blockchain. Another incredible advancement when it came to technology. We all know that. This is now in the history books. But we at CESS saw that white paper, much like MongoDB did and Bob and Larry Ellison did at Oracle. We saw that white paper as a massive opportunity to provide to the world an extraordinary advancement when it came to decentralized data infrastructure. So this evolution has been every 20 years a major evolution. This is a very significant one. And much like Oracle just turned or is about to turn 50 in 2 years, CESS is now 6, and we're looking forward to, in 44 years, CESS becoming 50 also. So how does this all work? I've said many times in this call that it is all about bringing together technologies. You can't live in a sandbox. And so we see ourselves at CESS as I've called it many times, a kingpin, the center between the world of Web 2 and the world of Web 3. You can see here the application stack, the service platforms, the cloud infrastructures in the Web 2 world, and you can see the same in the decentralized world with the DApps, the service providers, and the decentralized infrastructures. We at CESS are bringing those together, and this is essential for AI. Remember, data is going to come from all of these places. It's going to come from the world that we keep on talking about, the DePIN world, the world of Web 3, but it's also going to come from the Web 2 world. And the Web 2 world, remember, is already really well connected to prior technologies. So if data is in some mini computer somewhere, Web 2 has already figured out how to bring that in. So now what we're doing is bring all the data together so that you really have access, and it allows one to think about decentralized applications, AI applications, DePIN solutions, where you have access to any data you absolutely need. To do this effectively, we at CESS have spent a lot of time working with governments and policymakers to ensure that not only does our technology meet the standards needed out there, but the regulatory environment is supported. And so we've been very proud to be part of the Blockchain Association and other organizations worldwide that are setting standards and, more importantly, setting policy for the evolution of this next generation of technology. And so this is some work we've done in Washington, D.C. This is one of our trips back in October. We were there with Filecoin, Helium, and a whole bunch of others that are partners with us at the Blockchain Association. We're all coming together. The future of Web3 being successful is partnerships. It has nothing to do, there's no competitive landscape here at all. By us all working together, we're truly going to provide something of significance. And, couldn't be more exciting as to what's happening. This was back in May of this year. We were there again, And as you can imagine now, the currents have changed. And boy, have they changed. And even since May, look what's happening just recently. And in the adoption of Web3 and cryptocurrency, not only by the United States, but the effect that it's had on the global scene when it comes to Web3 overall. And we couldn't be more excited to have been there to support how truly the future of Web3 is empowering and providing solutions that have not been provided before. Now, I mentioned quickly before, and I'm just reiterating that we've had 14 test nets. Good news is that you can see in the allocation map that we've been, and it's maybe a little small for a few of you, but of course, quite a great representation from China, huge representation now from the United States, Germany, Hong Kong, Canada, United Kingdom, and many others. And so we see truly a global expansion to the usage of CESS throughout the world. And we could not be more excited about seeing the trends, the positive trends upwards in terms of transactions on chain, active addresses, storage nodes growing. And this has all allowed us to work with our community, which has been a key part of CESS's work to ensure that we're providing a solution that does help us grow to the next level. So I've mentioned AI a little bit, but let's really anchor this. The most important thing with AI is that we ensure that these models stay private. Take advantage, take as an example, a company like Disney. Disney, huge entertainment company, global, I think 50 in terms of its size, massive, massive organization. They have so much data with all their movies and their shows and their news and everything they do. And can you imagine, of course, that they don't want to lose that data, but those learning models are even more valuable. And so the ensuring that the privacy is maintained of those AI models is critical to Disney's future. Additionally, AI goes way beyond. I talked about DSide, DPIN, DApps. It's all these solutions really require extraordinary control and extraordinary understanding of how to ensure that the data is safe, and that you as a development organization or people that are using the CESS system or benefiting from the CESS system know that we at CESS is the data expert. We have the capabilities. We've solved these challenges for you, much like Oracle did 50 years ago with ensuring that you didn't have to worry about the hardware. We're ensuring you don't have to worry about the blockchain world. And we really are there to ensure you can implement a fully decentralized data solution using our decentralized data infrastructure. Now, there's a few things that I'm going to touch on quickly, and then we'll go into details here. But the decentralized storage challenge, has been very significant. We've talked many times in this already about data vulnerability, inefficiency, usage of storage space, slow retrieval times, limited commercial use. Well, good news, this is where we excel. We have high data assurance, storage space maximization, fast data retrieval, data sovereignty and privacy management, user managed data locations, and widely available for commercial use. We have really set CESS up to go beyond the challenges that most people are seeing in this decentralized world, and it goes beyond just the storage part of it. It goes into the content delivery network challenges that we've had. There's a lot of high cost of those solutions right now. Excuse me. We have to depend on one service provider, a centralized body. Data security risks, transmission delays and network congestion, lack of standards and interoperability, limited customization capabilities. These are all things that we've all been challenged with, and CESS and our decentralized CDN, again, blows past that, providing a solution that really empowers you. Decentralized open research network, free market for demand transaction, diversified data privacy protection systems, adaptive dynamic scaling networks. unified data sharing platforms, highly customizable features are only the beginning. And again, I invite you to go to CESS.NETWORK, check out the white paper, and you'll see more. And then we got to absolutely talk about AI. We've talked a lot about AI so far, and I want to anchor this. We all know that it's so important that we don't lose AI data, that we can count on the data that's coming into our models to be accurate, that we do follow government privacy regulations, that we ensure that there is compliance, that we, really are ensuring that, all these things are happening. And a lot of solutions today, those are in question, and how does this all work? What if people don't want to share their data or don't feel comfortable? I mean, again, remember, the more data that goes into an AI model, the more accurate it is. So at CESS, we have an AI link. We really focus on training AI models in the decentralized models without exposing the data. It's a Byzantine robust system with data privacy. We are ensuring decentralized computing, coordinated training around division by smart contracts, easy integration with other GPU networks, and it can be accelerated, of course, with hardware. And so the key thing here is, again, we at CESS have made it so that you don't have to worry about your AI and data integration. CESS does that for you. So at this point, I want to thank you. This is a QR code you can scan. It will provide you with a link into our systems, our community. We provide, and you're going to hear a lot about this, a lot of rewards, not only for people using our technology, but also for those that are part of our community. So on that note, Meng, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nick, for the explanation, especially I think one of the slides where there is 6 boxes that you covered, which is more of the unique selling proposition. Really thank, Nick for spending his time. It's very early in the morning in US. I guess the couple of points that you mentioned really hits the nail, where a decentralized storage with location-based or geofencing mechanism, with a bit backup mechanism as well for not having no data loss, and at the same time millisecond with the CDN support, where milliseconds are being done. So those are really important part of the CESS network. And I encourage you to go to our website, CESS.NETWORK, to have a look. We also encourage you to get into our social media. We like to thank the viewers in YouTube as well as LinkedIn for this continuous development of CESS network. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.